First Contact. Princess Alien stood at the observation deck of the celestial spire, her crystalline eyes reflecting the countless stars that dotted the galactic landscape. As the most beautiful and influential figure in the Sereni Empire, she carried the weight of her people's future on her shoulders. The recent discovery of Earth had sent ripples through the galactic community, but none could have predicted the chain of events that would follow. The year was 3157 by Earth's calendar, though humanity remained blissfully unaware of the cosmic politics that swirled around their planet. The Galactic Council had designated Earth as a protected world, its inhabitants deemed too primitive to join the interstellar community. But Princess Alien saw something different in these humans, a spark that reminded her of ancient prophecies. "Your Highness," Commander Seveir Atella Venes interrupted her contemplation. The squadron master of the Space Navy cut an impressive figure in his ceremonial armor, the medals of countless campaigns glinting under the starlight. "The Council has reached a decision regarding Earth." Alien turned, her silver hair cascading like stardust. "Tell me, Commander. What fate have they decided for humanity?" "They've selected a special task force for first contact," Seveir replied, his voice grave. "But there's more. The Ezra regime has been making moves in the sector. Our intelligence suggests they view Earth as a strategic asset." The princess's expression hardened. The Ezra were known throughout the galaxy as conquerors, their tentacled forms housing minds devoted to expansion and subjugation. If they reached Earth first, humanity would face a fate worse than extinction, they would become living weapons in the Ezra war machine. "We can't let that happen," Alien declared. "Humanity has something special, something the Council doesn't understand. I've studied their transmissions, their art, their wars. They possess an adaptability that even the most advanced races lack." Seveir handed her a holographic tablet containing classified files. "The Council has appointed you as Earth's protector, Your Highness. They believe your diplomatic skills might help ease humanity's transition into galactic society." As Alien reviewed the documents, her eyes widened. The Ezra fleet was already en route to Earth, using the cover of an asteroid field to mask their approach. They had perhaps days, not weeks, to prepare humanity for what was coming. "Commander, prepare my personal vessel," she ordered. "And contact the Terran Defense Initiative. We'll need their expertise for what's coming." The Terran Defense Initiative was a secret organization composed of various alien races who believed in humanity's potential. They had been watching Earth for centuries, subtly guiding human development while preventing hostile interventions. As preparations began for their journey to Earth, Alien received an urgent transmission from her father, the Emperor. His holographic form materialized before her, concern etched on his ancient features. "Daughter, be careful. The Ezra aren't the only ones interested in Earth. The collectors have awakened from their millennial slumber, and their arrival changes everything." The collectors, a name that sent chills through even the most hardened warrior. Ancient beings who had seeded life throughout the galaxy, they returned periodically to harvest civilizations they deemed worthy. Their massive worldships had been spotted at the edge of the galaxy, moving with purpose for the first time in 1,000 years. "Father, why now? What makes Earth so special that it draws the attention of both the Ezra and the collectors?" The Emperor's hologram flickered. "There are prophecies, ancient texts that speak of a world that would unite the galaxy. The signs align with Earth, a young race that masters technology at an unprecedented rate, that survives catastrophes that would destroy other civilizations, that dreams of the stars even before they can reach them." Before Alien could respond, alarms blared throughout the celestial spire. On the main viewing screen, a massive portal tore open in space, its swirling vortex a sickly green. Ezra warships poured through, their biological hulls pulsing with malevolent energy. "They're early," Seveir growled, already coordinating with the defense fleet. "They must have developed new drive technology." Alien watched as the first shots were fired, streaks of energy crisscrossing the void. The battle for Earth had begun before humanity even knew they weren't alone in the universe. "Commander, get us to Earth. Now." Her voice carried the authority of generations of rulers. "We must reach them before the Ezra. Humanity must be given a choice in their destiny." As their ship broke away from the ensuring battle, aliens studied the tactical displays showing Earth's defenses, or lack thereof. The humans had satellites, primitive projectile weapons, and nuclear devices. Against the Ezra, these would be like throwing stones at a tsunami. But she had seen something in their history that gave her hope. Humans had an uncanny ability to unite in the face of external threats. They created their greatest works under pressure, achieved their most significant advances when pushed to the brink. If they could reach Earth in time, if they could prepare humanity for what was coming, perhaps the ancient prophecies would prove true. Perhaps this young race would indeed be the key to uniting the galaxy, or destroying it completely. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy, now rested on reaching humanity before the Ezra. And even then, convincing them to trust aliens who appeared out of nowhere would be just the beginning of their challenges. As their ship entered hyperspace, Alien clutched a small device containing humanity's complete history as observed by the Terran Defense Initiative. In those records lay the key to understanding Earth's true potential, and possibly the salvation of all sentient life. The human factor. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the United Nations Security Council, her hands trembling slightly as she gripped the podium. The astronomical data displayed behind her showed what she'd been tracking for the past 72 hours, multiple objects moving through space in patterns that defied natural physics. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "what you're looking at is proof that we are not alone. These objects are spacecraft, and they're heading straight for Earth." The chamber erupted in controlled chaos. Representatives from various nations spoke in hurried whispers, while military advisors frantically typed on their tablets. Sarah had expected denial, ridicule even. Instead, she saw something else in their eyes: recognition. General Marcus Rodriguez of the United States Space Force stood up. "Dr. Chen is correct. We've been tracking these vessels through our quantum array satellites. What she doesn't know is that we've already received a transmission." The screens behind Sarah flickered, and a new image appeared. A humanoid figure with silver hair and crystalline eyes, Princess Alien of the Sereni Empire. The recording began to play. "People of Earth, I come to you with both a warning and an opportunity. Your world stands on the brink of a war you didn't know existed. The Ezra regime approaches your planet with the intention of conquest. We offer our protection, but more importantly, we offer you a choice in your destiny." The message continued, explaining the situation in diplomatic terms, but Sarah's mind was already racing ahead. As head of the Quantum Communications Initiative, she had suspected for years that some of their technological breakthroughs had been subtly guided. Now she knew why. "There's more," General Rodriguez continued after the message ended. "Our deep space sensors have detected another fleet approaching from the direction of the Orion Arm. These ships match neither the Sereni nor the Ezra signatures." "The collectors," a new voice spoke from the back of the chamber. All heads turned to see a man in a plain black suit walking down the center aisle. "My name is Alexander Pierce, and I represent an organization that has been preparing for this day for the past 50 years. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. She had heard whispers about a secret organization called the Terran Defense Initiative, but had dismissed them as conspiracy theories. Now, as Pierce began sharing detailed files about various alien races and their technologies, she realized how wrong she'd been. "The collectors are ancient beings who see potential in humanity," Pierce explained. "But their arrival complicates everything. We have less than 48 hours before the Ezra fleet reaches our solar system. The Sereni can help, but they need our cooperation, and more importantly, they need our innovation." "Innovation?" The Chinese representative scoffed. "Against advanced alien civilizations?" Pierce smiled. Did you know that humanity is the only species to develop quantum entanglement communication without external guidance? The only race to conceptualize faster-than-light travel before achieving routine spaceflight. There's a reason the galaxy has taken notice of us. Sarah stepped forward. The quantum irregularities in our experiments, they weren't errors, were they? We were detecting alien activity. Correct, Dr. Chen. And that's why you're here. Your team's work on quantum communications might be the key to coordinating a global defense. The next 24 hours passed in a blur of activity. While world leaders debated and military forces mobilized, Sarah found herself working alongside alien scientists in a secret facility beneath the Antarctic ice. The Serenity had managed to land a small advance team, bringing with them technology beyond human comprehension. But it was what happened next that truly changed everything. Sarah and her team were attempting to integrate Serenity quantum technology with Earth's systems when they discovered something unprecedented. The human quantum communication network they'd built had capabilities the aliens had never conceived of. Where alien quantum tech required massive arrays and power sources, human systems worked on a fraction of the energy. "This is impossible," Clara, a Serenity scientist, whispered as she reviewed the data. "Your understanding of quantum mechanics is primitive, and yet you've achieved something we thought couldn't be done." "Maybe that's the advantage," Sarah replied, excitement building. "We didn't know it couldn't be done, so we found a way." The implications were staggering. Humanity's primitive approach to quantum physics had accidentally stumbled upon principles that the advanced races had overlooked. It wasn't just quantum communications, human scientists had been unknowingly laying the groundwork for technologies that could revolutionize space warfare. As they worked, reports came in from around the world. The presence of aliens had been revealed to the public, and the response was not what anyone had expected. Instead of panic, there was determination. Instead of fear, there was innovation. Within hours, weapons manufacturers were adapting their designs to incorporate alien insights. Software companies were developing interfaces for alien technology. University labs were solving problems that had stumped alien scientists for centuries, simply because they approached them from completely different angles. But it was in a small lab in Mumbai that the biggest breakthrough occurred. Dr. Arun Patel, a theoretical physicist, had been studying the Serenity's faster-than-light drive technology. He discovered that their entire approach to FTL travel was based on pushing through spacetime. Humans, in their imagination-driven science fiction, had conceived of dozens of alternatives, including one that Dr. Patel proved could actually work. "They've been brute-forcing their way through spacetime," he explained over a rushed video conference. "But we can slip between the layers of reality like a piece of paper between pages. The energy requirements would be minimal compared to their method." The Serenity were stunned. In less than 2 days, humanity had taken their advanced technology and begun improving upon it in ways they hadn't considered possible. But they didn't have time to marvel at human ingenuity. The Ezra fleet had entered the solar system. As the alien armada approached, Sarah made another discovery. The quantum communication network humanity had built didn't just transmit information, it could be used to predict quantum state changes. In other words, they could see the quantum fluctuations of approaching ships, effectively giving them a few precious seconds of tactical foresight. "We need to get this to the defense forces now," she urged, watching as the first Ezra ships appeared on the edge of their sensors. Princess Alien, who had arrived on Earth just hours earlier, smiled as she watched the humans work. "Now you begin to understand why we chose to help you," she said. "It's not just your technology or your adaptability. It's your perspective. You see possibilities where we see limitations." But even as humanity prepared its defenses, drawing upon both their own innovations and alien technology, a new signal was detected coming from deep space. The collectors had arrived, and their message would change everything they thought they knew about humanity's place in the galaxy. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and with it, the revelation of why this seemingly primitive planet held the key to the galaxy's future. As Sarah looked at the quantum data streaming across her screens, she realized that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their adaptability, it was their ability to imagine what could be, rather than accept what was. The next few hours would prove whether that would be enough to save them all. The battle for Earth. Admiral James Chen watched from the bridge of the USS Nimitz as the first Ezra warships entered visual range. The massive carrier, now retrofitted with Serene shield technology and quantum-enhanced targeting systems, represented humanity's best chance at survival. Around him, a hastily assembled fleet of Earth's naval vessels, each upgraded with alien tech, maintained formation. "All stations report ready, Admiral," his XO announced. "The quantum prediction network is online." James nodded, thinking of his sister Sarah and her breakthrough. The network she developed gave them a crucial advantage, the ability to predict enemy movement seconds before they happened. It wasn't much, but in space combat, seconds meant everything. Multiple quantum signatures detected, the sensor officer called out. "The Ezra fleet is launching fighters." The void erupted with activity as thousands of biological fighters poured from the organic hulls of the Ezra vessels. They moved with impossible grace, their living ships responding to their pilots' thoughts rather than physical controls. "Launch our birds," James ordered. "Let's show them what Earth brings to the fight." The F-35 quantum fighters launched from carriers worldwide, their frames now housing technology that would have seemed magical just days ago. But unlike the Ezra ships, these weren't purely biological or technological. They represented a hybrid approach that only humans had considered, the marriage of organic computing with mechanical precision. "This is Red Leader," Squadron Commander Maya Patel's voice crackled over the comm, "all wings, execute Operation Trojan Horse." The human fighters appeared to break formation, scattering in apparent chaos. The Ezra fighters, operating on tactical algorithms refined over centuries of warfare, moved to exploit what they saw as tactical mistakes. That was exactly what humanity was counting on. In the Antarctic Command Center, Sarah Chen watched the battle unfold through quantum data streams. "They're taking the bait," she reported to Princess Alien. "The Ezra AI is predicting our movements based on standard combat doctrine." "But you're not using standard doctrine, are you?" Alien observed, a hint of admiration in her voice. "We're using video game strategies," Sarah replied with a grin. "Specifically, tactics developed by esports champions. No artificial intelligence, no matter how advanced, could predict moves designed to exploit game mechanics rather than military logic. In space, the trap was sprung. The scattered human fighters suddenly executed maneuvers that defied both physics and conventional military wisdom. Moves pulled from games like Stellar Warfare Online and Galaxy Commander, games that had inadvertently trained millions of humans in unconventional space combat. The Ezra fighters, their biological computers struggling to adapt to these illogical patterns, fell into carefully prepared killing zones. Earth's quantum-enhanced weapons, guided by the prediction network, struck with devastating accuracy. But the victory was short-lived. The main Ezra fleet began powering up their primary weapons, massive cannons capable of cracking continents. That's when the second phase of humanity's defense plan kicked in. "Execute Operation Underground," James commanded. Across the globe, hidden silos opened. But instead of missiles, they launched clouds of small, autonomous drones. Each drone carried a miniaturized version of Dr. Patel's experimental FTL drive, not powerful enough for space travel, but perfect for what came next. The drones, using the quantum slipping technique that humans had pioneered, began phasing through the Ezra ship's shields. Their organic hulls, designed to repel energy weapons and physical impacts, had no defense against objects that could literally slip between atoms. "Impossible," the Ezra Supreme Commander bellowed as the drones materialized inside their ships, targeting crucial systems. "Their technology is primitive. They couldn't have developed quantum phasing. But they had, and in ways the Ezra had never imagined. While alien civilizations had pursued quantum technology through careful, methodical research, humans had thrown wild theories at the wall to see what stuck. Their scattered, seemingly random approach had stumbled upon principles that thousands of years of structured alien research had missed. The battle reached its climax as the Ezra fleet, their ships compromised from within, began to retreat. That's when the collectors made their move. Massive world ships emerged from quantum space, their ancient hulls glowing with power that made both human and Ezra technology seem like toys. This experiment has yielded fascinating results, a voice echoed in every human mind. The collectors, speaking directly through quantum frequencies that humans had accidentally tapped into. In the Antarctic base, Sarah gasped as new data flooded her screens. The quantum network wasn't just detecting the collectors' ships, it was reading their thoughts, their memories, their entire history. "Brother," one collector said to another, "their quantum conversation intercepted by human systems, these humans, they're using quantum fields in ways we never conceived. They've achieved in days what took us millennia." "Because they don't know their own limitations," the other replied. "They don't know what's impossible, so they achieve the impossible." Princess Alien turned to Sarah, her crystalline eyes wide with realization. "Now I understand the prophecies. They weren't about power or technology. They were about perspective. The truth about humanity's role in the galaxy was beginning to unfold, but with it came a darker revelation. The collectors hadn't come to observe or to help, they had come to contain what they saw as a potential threat to the established order of the universe. As the world ships moved into attack position, humanity prepared to face its greatest challenge yet. But they had one final card to play, a discovery made in the Mumbai lab that would shake the foundations of galactic civilization. Dr. Arun Patel's voice came over the quantum network, excited despite the looming threat. "The calculations are complete. We found it, the fundamental flaw in how every advanced race approaches quantum mechanics. And more importantly, we know how to exploit it." The next few minutes would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of all intelligent life in the galaxy. And it would all come down to humanity's unique gift, the ability to imagine solutions that no other species would consider possible. As the collectors prepared their attack, Sarah looked at the quantum data streaming across her screens and smiled. Sometimes, she realized, the most primitive approach was actually the most advanced. And humanity was about to prove it to the galaxy in spectacular fashion.